Welcome back, everyone. I am the Depressed Hero, and this is Arkham Horror the card game. We're doing the Dunwitch Legacy with Zoe Samaras and Agatha Crane, and we're going to see how it goes. One thing I'm having a little trouble with as far as the new investigators are concerned from Ground City is pretty much all of them are cloovers, and I already have an overabundance of investigators that do well as cloovers. So unfortunately, I'm going to have to kind of trickle these new characters in one at a time because I have to have at least one person that can actually fight. There is a Guardian that technically could fight, but honestly, I'm going to be probably making her into a Clover as well, just to see kind of how that plays out, because she's all about events. In any case, nothing to note on this. I think we're good to go. It's been a while since I've played this. Quiet Halls, you have arrived at Miskatonic University campus in search of Professor Warren Rice. Classes are over, and a mysterious silence hangs in the air over the quad. 7 doomed to advance. There are 3 agendas. There are 3 acts. After hours, Professor Rice was last seen several hours ago by one of Armitage's students in the Humanities Building. 6 clues to advance. Skulls are -1. If you fail, you discard the top 3 cards of your deck. Cultist is -1, and it's -3 if you have 10 or more cards in your discard pile. And then there's the Elder Thing, which we do not have. But if we did, it would be -X, where you discard the top 2 cards of your deck, and X becomes the total printed cost of those discarded cards, which would be pretty ugly. All right, so I'm going to shuffle and draw. Starting with Ever Vigilant in my hand. And some assets. That is pretty good. I think I kind of wish I had a weapon, but everything else here is kind of nice. We'll take out the Vicious Blow for now. Yep, it is what it is. Can't win them all. Alright, shuffling. Deal to orange. Alright, Olive McBride. Unconventional method, and a bunch of other stuff. I'm going to take out the guts. I'm going to tag out the perception. Okay, that's a little bit easier. Okay, cool. We can make this work. All right. Let's go ahead and we start up here at the Miskatonic Quad. We will shuffle this deck. I won't read any of these because I've read them all before. Alright, no clues here to worry about. Let's get going. Alright, I'll start with Zoe. First action, I'm going to draw a card. Perfect. Second action, I'm going to play Stand Together, gain 2 resources for both of us. And then last, I'm going to go ahead and do an Ever Vigilant. I'll spend 3 to get out Automatic. I will spend 2 to get out Something Worth Fighting For. I'll spend 1 to get out Artistic Inspiration. Fantastic start. All right. Meanwhile, over here, as mentioned, I have 2 physical trauma for the in the thick of it for Zoe. Anyway. Agatha, let's fast out a magnifying glass. And then spend 2 to get out Olive McBride. And then I'm going to move. We'll go say hi to Orne Library, which is always going to be our fun one. This is the one where you have to spend an additional action to investigate it. I will draw a card for my last action in my threat area. Alright. I will go ahead and spend 2 to do Working a Hunch and grab a clue from here. Okay. Enemy phase, nothing going on there. Upkeep. Okay, got a shortcut. Mythos, first doom. I'll shuffle this one more time and then draw. Locked door. Wizard of Yog-Sothoth, right off the bat, huh? Alright, so we got this guy. All right, investigation phase. We're just gonna have to work with what we got. I'll start with Zoe. I'm gonna move over to here, and I'm gonna shoot the Wizard of Yog-Sothoth. This will put us at 5-4. I will commit an overpower. That'll get us up to, actually, 5-4 is good enough. Yeah, highest minus is 2. Yeah, we'll go 5-4 then. And we pass. We do 2 damage. Okay. Then I'm going to punch. And I'm going to use overpower for this one. So I'll be 6-4. Well, I do 1 damage to Agatha. My apologies. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. Not much I can do about it either. All I can do is try to evade him, which is going to be pretty much impossible. All right, we'll go ahead and attempt to evade. All right. I'm going to commit a shortcut to this. Actually, it's the first time. You know what? We'll just evade right now. So I revealed 2 tokens. All right, I do fail. Okay, now I'll evade again. This time I will commit cards. I will commit a... Yeah, not much we can do about that. All right, I'm going to commit a Burning the Midnight Oil and a shortcut. This will put us at 5-3. And I will go ahead and do all of McBride's ability. Alright, so I have to choose 2 and resolve the and ignore the other. I'll ignore the auto fail and take the zeros. So I do pass. So I do evade. Alright, last action, I'm just going to draw a card. Alright, at the end of our turn, I did cancel or ignore 1 or more chaos tokens, so I will activate her ability. I'm going to pick Working a Hunch and spin 2 to grab a clue from this location. Alright, that is it on that front. Enemy phase, enemy is exhausted, upkeep, I'll have it engage least cards in hand, which is actually Zoe. I will gain 1 resource for being engaged. Alright, Mythos, second Doom. I am going to get attacked for 1 and 2. Not much I can do about it. 2 horror can go here, and I'll take 1 damage. Attach to your location. As an additional cost to move into or out of the attached location, you have to do something. Offer power, I take 2 horror. Alright. If successful, you do that. Alright. Oh, I didn't do upkeeps. Sorry about that. Okie dokie. Let's start with Zoe. I'm gonna go ahead and try to punch this guy. 4-4. We pass, he is dead. Next I'm gonna draw a card. Okay. And next I will try to move. And I will resolve the arcane barrier. I'll commit a something worth fighting for. Go 5-4. And we pass. It goes away. We can go down here, I believe. This is the one that, yeah, amount of horror on you. Let me check that ruling. Okay, when it says on you, it has to be specifically on Zoe, which Zoe doesn't have any horror on her. It's on her assets. So she's safe. Meanwhile, Agatha will go ahead and move down. All right. Let's go ahead and that'll be fun. All right, we'll go ahead and investigate. We're 5-3. I have to reveal 2 tokens, unfortunately. That's... I do get to resolve both of them, so I'll go ahead and cancel this Elder Sign and draw a card. Thank you. All right. Good times had by all there. I'll go ahead and investigate again. I will just go 5-3. Okay, we get 1 clue. All right. At the end of return, since I did cancel a card, I'll go ahead and use her ability. I will pick this Burning the Midnight Oil and investigate again. 5-3. I also get 2 resources. It's just -1, right? Yep, -1. Grab 1 clue. All right, almost done here. Upkeep. A Lugger. And another Spectral Shield. Third Doom. Terror from Beyond. Choose the following. Oh boy. I will pick Skills. I will pick... I'll pick Events. Because at that point, there's not much I can do about it. All right, investigation. I'll start with Agatha. I will spend 3 to go ahead and get out the Ocular Obscura. I'm going to go ahead and investigate. I have to reveal 2 tokens again, 5-3. As a fail. All right, I'll investigate again, 5-3. It's not really anything I terribly want to do. Yeah, I'll just do 5-3. All right, I pass. I get 1 clue. Nothing got sealed this time. Upkeep. Oh, sorry, forgot about you. We'll go ahead and spend 2 to get out the Lugger. And then draw a card. And then spend 1 to get out the Wolf Mask. Alright, she's geared up. Enemy phase, upkeep. We haven't taken any horror yet, so we're good on this part. Another Working in the Hunch, always useful. 4th Doom. This thing, Surges. Willpower 5 test. I will go 4-5. So I'm going to discard 3 cards from my deck. Ancient Evils. Yep, those things exist again. Alright, investigation phase. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and spend an action to go ahead and shuffle Glimpse of the Void back into the deck. And then I'll investigate. I'll go 5 to 3. Alright, I will seal that token. Get the clue here. Last action, I'm going to move. Actually, before I do that, I will spend the clues and advance. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set aside Jazz Mulligan. Alright, well, one of the Ancient Evils is going to go back in here. Not much we can do about that. Alright, now we have to search for... You were unable to find Professor Rice, but one of the students you spoke with mentioned a strange man entering Rice's office. Unfortunately, the door leading to the faculty office is locked at this late hour. The student says that the head janitor, Jazz, might be able to let you in if you can find him. Shuffle the encounter. Just got, yeah, I already did all that. All right, Rice's whereabouts. Concern for Professor Rice's safety, you seek out the head janitor who can let you into the locked sections of the campus. Action, spend clue, discard top 5 of the encounter deck and try to not cry. If you discard Jazz Mulligan, you can resolve his revelation. Otherwise, you and then when you take control of him, you advance. Okay. So what was it? I shuffled. I got. I investigated, and now I'm going to move. All right. At the end of her turn, since I did seal a token, and this stays on here until I actually do something with it. Alright, I will go ahead and use my ability. And use a shortcut. We'll do science building. I get to bring out the alchemy lab, which we will never enter. All right, and that is it on that front. Okay, Zoe. Yeah, that's fine. All right, Zoe, let's go ahead and move you up to here. I'm going to go ahead and check what this spot is. I don't remember exactly how it works. We, of course, add in the not dormitories, faculty offices. The one we are doing is the Night is Still Young, I believe. Yep, Night is Still Young. This one is not being used. And the way this works is at the end of your turn, if you're at the administrator. Okay, that is what I thought how it worked. Okay, last action, I'm just going to move back. All right, no enemies, upkeep. Mythos, Sixth Doom. Location with the most clues, it's a tie, so we'll go here. Then again, having it on her is not a huge deal. Yeah, we'll put it on her. That way I don't have to go to the administration building. Actually, no, it's fine. We can do it this way. Arcane barrier goes on here. Okay, investigation phase. So I can definitely guarantee do things with this. Fortunately, it takes an action to do all that nonsense. Okay. Not much we can do about you. Alright, well, we'll go ahead and investigate. We will reveal the seal token here. Yeah, I'll go ahead and just reveal the seal token here. Resolve seal token. All right, so ends up being 4-2. I pass, I get a clue. After you succeed a skill test, when you reveal, so then release that token, so you have to release it. Gotcha, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That way it doesn't constantly loop. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and spend 2 to go working a hunch. Grab this clue. I'm gonna go ahead and spend a clue, discard top 5. Okay. And I will do it one more time. Cool. Oh, there goes the victories. All right, Jazz Mulligan is here. At the end of return, I did... Oh, I didn't actually seal anything, so I'm good on that front. Okay, cool. That works out then. Zoe. We can try to do a book 3 check. Be interesting to do. You know what? I'll do that. I'm going to go ahead and head over to move into or out of the attached location. Yeah, that's fine. I'll move in. I'm going to go ahead and parlay with Jazz Mulligan. I'm currently 2-3. We'll commit a perception to go 4-3. And that should be good enough. 4-3. That is only -1 because I do not have 10 cards in my discard pile. So I do pass. I now take control of Jazz. Since I took control of Jazz, we do advance again. All right. The experiment is loose. You convince Jazz that something strange is going on and that Professor Rice may be in danger. He doesn't trust you enough to hand you his keys, but agrees to come with you. All of a sudden, you hear a crash coming from the science building, and a student rushes towards you. "Help!" he cries. "There's some kind of animal loose in the chem lab. I only barely caught a glimpse of it, but..." He shudders. "I think it's heading to the dorms. You've got to do something." Spawn the set-aside experiment. Yeah, everything else is good to go. All right. Now we just got campus safety. You have only moments to react. You could warn the students in the dormitories and escort them to safety, or continue your task of searching the faculty offices for Professor Rice, or perhaps you could try to slay the beast that threatens the campus. All right. I still have an action remaining. So I will... Oh, also I get to draw a card because that test did pass. After you draw during... It's only during your turn, so unfortunately that doesn't trigger, but that's okay. Next, I'm going to go ahead and try to... it's risky. Yeah, I'll go ahead and try to move through and see what happens with this. I'm 4-4 right now. That is -1. I will exhaust the artistic inspiration. Actually, I don't even think you have to exhaust it. You just spend an inspiration. I will spend the inspiration to pass that test. And this goes away. All right. As a lightning bolt, I can discard a card from my hand to do things. Do I want to do things? That is the question. Yeah, I'll go ahead and discard a 45 automatic. Actually, I'll wait. I'll wait and see what I draw first. Enemy phase, enemy's not going to do anything. He doesn't move. Upkeep. Steadfast. Seeking answers. All right, Mythos. Good stuff. All right. All right. Was it start of the Mythos phase? Yep. All right. Let's go ahead and first we advance. All right. Something stirs. The university is dead silent. The shadows coil about your feet as you walk, and you swear there is something following you with each step you take. Is it just your imagination, or is there really someone or something stalking you? Everyone that has 5 or more cards in their discard pile takes 1 horror. 10 or more takes 2 horror. 1 horror, which I'll just have this soak it. And 1 horror for you. Okay. And we don't need to worry about that part. Dead of Night. Professor Rice's disappearance isn't the only thing amiss at the university. You're unsure exactly what is going on, but you're starting to believe Armitage was right in asking for your help. Each investigator maximum hand size is reduced by 3 while checking his or her hand size during the upkeep phase. 3 doomed to advance. Alright. This guy, fortunately, is not going to move for now. Alright, draw card. Alright, willpower 5. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. Okay. I'm going to do a steadfast for this. This will put us at 8 to 5. We pass. And we got the Beyond the Veil. And a Whippoorwill. A Whippoorwills. Alright. Go to... Okay, one mistake I did make with the Arcane Valley, it's when you move into it as well. It still doesn't matter because I still passed the test. So, good to go on that. I was wondering about that. Anyway, investigation phase. Alright. So, you're the one with Jazz Mulligan. I need to get the faculty offices open. And kind of go from there. Alright, so with that in mind... Is there any way I can kill things quickly? Probably not. Alright. I'm going to do a few cheeky things here. We're going to go ahead and move down. Get engaged by you, gain a resource. And then I'm going to spend 2 actions. I will take the attacker opportunity. I'll put it on Jazz. I will spend 2 to do Task Force. And then in any order, I'm going to move first. Reveal this location. Search the encounter counter deck and discard pile for a humanoid enemy and spawn it here, and then shuffle the encounter deck. We'll take a Thrall. Because, yeah, everything here is not human. Get engaged by you, gain a resource. Alright. I will shoot the 45 automatic at one of the Thralls. This will put us at 5 to 2. Kills it. And I'll grab a clue here as part of the task force. Alright. Oh, this thing hits for horror as well. I didn't realize. That's okay. We'll live. So yeah, here I'm just going to be grabbing the clues here and then moving. Because I think he doesn't automatically activate. Oh, you have to spin the clues. Yeah, so we're fine. Alright, that is it on that front. Goes to Agatha. 1, 2, 3. That is kind of... we can make something happen with this. It's a little risky. 1, 2. I will spend 1 to do a Seeking Answers. And I just have to investigate here. This location has 4 Shroud. I have 5 Investigate. I will commit at Cryptic Writings, and I will use Arkham Bragg. So 5, 6, 7 to 4. So I get to reveal 3 tokens. 1, 2, 3. Okay. I will take the zeros, and I will seal a 0 on this. All right. And then with this, I get to discover a clue at a connecting location, so I'll grab a clue from this location. These are now resolved. That was move, move, and investigate. At the end of the turn, the force effect is going to trigger first, because force effects always trigger first, so I do have to discard the top card of my deck. Good call. Then I will trigger Agatha the Crane. I did seal and ignore card tokens, so I will activate this to go ahead and pop a shortcut to move. All right, enemy phase. I'm going to get hit for 1 and 1. Not much I can do about it. Upkeep. Smite the Wicked. Discard cards from the top of the deck. Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh. That is cruel. 1, 2. Yep, has to go over here. That is going to be a problem. It's not too bad. The experiment's going to move soon anyway. But also the Whippoorwill should move 1 space. There we go. Upkeep. Okay, unconventional method again. Mythos. First Doom. Willpower 4. I'm going to exhaust the Artistic Inspiration to discard a Overpower and put this on here and go 4 to 5. Alright, I will use that inspiration to pass so I don't discard anything. Ancient Evils. Okay. Investigation phase. Alright, we'll start with Agatha. I think we should clear this out sooner than later. Have any cards I can mess around with here? Not really. Alright. So I can investigate at 5 to 2. Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to do unconventional method. Discard this magnifying glass. It is an item asset. So I'm going to be going 5 to 2 with this, which I get to resolve this token and pass the check. And since it was an item, since the card was in play, I get to discover an additional clue. So I get both clues, like so. All right. And next I will spend 2 actions moving to get the hell out of here. All right. Zoe. I'll go, I'll exhaust the lugger and shoot. Actually, no, don't do that. I will shoot the 45 automatic and go 5 to 2. Okay, dead. And then I will spend 2 actions moving. Okay. Enemy phase, nothing going on. Upkeep. Zoe's Cross. Burning the Midnight Oil. Also, my hand size never got anywhere close to 5, so I didn't have to discard anything. All right, an experiment gone wrong. A cry of fear echoes through the campus, and several students flee from the eastern side of the university, where the science building can be found. Could this commotion be linked to Professor Rice's disappearance? If the dormitory's location is not in play, put it into play. Oh, right, I need to actually go and unlock that door. That's going to be annoying. Not much I can do about it, too. All right. And then if the experiment's in play, he does move. He's now here. And that's it. All right. The Beast Unleashed. Some kind of wild creature is on the loose. Whatever it is, it appears to be headed toward the university dormitories. When this agenda would advance by reaching its doom threshold, instead remove all doom for play and move it one location towards the dormitories. Okay. Nope, there's still one more Ancient Evil in there. Not much we can do about it. All right. There it is. One doom. You must attach Light of F4 Gomon to either the current agenda or the current act. There's not anything to do. This is going to be permanent. So everything is now direct horror and direct damage, which is fine because I actually don't want to tank anything anyway on my allies. All right, investigation phase. I'm going to start with Zoe. Get her to unlock the door down here. And then spend an action moving back up. All right. And then Agatha. I'm going to have you move twice to here. I'm then going to go ahead and investigate with Burning the Midnight Oil just because I can. Gain 2 resources. I will use all of McBride and reveal 3 tokens. All right, I will pick the number tokens and pass. And I will seal the +1 and get 1 clue here. At the end of her turn, I'll activate her ability because I did a number of things. I will go ahead and do another Burning the Midnight Oil, which will be resolved by this Ocular Obscura. And I'll pass, gain 2 resources, get another clue. Enemy phase, this guy will move down. Upkeep. Custom modifications. Upkeep. Guts. Alright, we advance. He moves up. Offer a power. I have to take horror. Locked door, which is going to be unfortunately put here, which means I have to deal with it somehow. And I don't really have a way of dealing with it, so that's bad. All right, investigation phase. I'm going to go ahead and start with Zoe. We're going to move and evade the experiment. We will spend a Wolf Mask for this. This will put us at 4-2. I will also commit a custom modification. We pass, he is now evaded. And then we will move 1 space closer. Okay. Next. Agatha. Draw a card. Draw a card. That could solve it. I'll go ahead and do Drawn to the Flame. I will take the 2 horror and get 2 clues here. Alright, we do have a solution for this. That's good. Enemy phase, Whippoorwill's going down here. Upkeep. Mythos. First Doom. Deck has been shuffled. I have to take the horror. Yeah, I have to take the horror. I don't have an option. Alright, I will commit a Guts. I am at -1 because of this, unfortunately. It is what it is. So 5 to 5. I pass. I will put this on the Obscura. And draw a card. That's annoying. Alright. Investigation. It says this round, so at the end of a turn, I can guarantee I can get those 2 clues. The big thing is whether or not I die from Ancient Evils or not. Alright. Zoe. You have one job, to not die from whatever this is coming. I get engaged, I gain 1 resource. I'll shoot the thing with a 45 automatic. 5 to 2. Alright, he is dead. That is resolved. We'll go ahead and move. Alright. I'm going to go ahead and draw a card. Draw a card. Shuffle this back in here. At the end of my turn, since I sealed something, I'm going to go ahead and play an Insight. I will pick Drawn to the Flame. Okay. And we get 2 clues. Alright, enemy phase, I am going to get hit by this thing, unfortunately. That's going to hit me for 1 and 1. Has to be direct. I will discard a random card. Like so. Alright. Upkeep. Alright. Just making sure I did that right. Yeah, I did Guts. Yeah, I was at 5 to 5 exactly. Okay. Alright. Moment of truth. Do we get the double Wombo Ancient Evil combo? We do not. Alright, investigation phase. Also, I should be getting an offering from every time I got engaged. I'm going to start with Zoe. Zoe's going to use the Lugger. Going 5 to 4. We'll go... $8 to 4. 1 damage. Okay. Next, I will punch. I'll go 7 to 4. Okay, I'm not going to be able to do enough damage. I'm just going to pass turn. It doesn't matter. I was hoping to get the kill, but I couldn't do it. Luckily, the thing doesn't have retaliate. And I didn't have any willpower checks here, so I'm safe on that. Okay. It is just an objective. It doesn't actually, it is not an action, so I'll spend the 6 clues and do resolution 2. And just out of curiosity, yeah, if we had stayed another turn, we would have lost. Okay, resolution 2. Let's see what we get. You pull each of the dormitory's fire alarms and Usher the students out of the building's north exit, hoping to make your way off campus. Many of the students are confused and exhausted, but you believe an attempt to explain the situation will do more harm than good. Minutes later, a terrible screech echoes across the campus, piercing and shrill. You tell the students to wait and head back to the dormitories to investigate. Oddly, you find no trace of the strange creature, a prospect that worries you more than it relieves you. You hurry to the faculty offices to find Professor Rice, but there is no sign of him anywhere. In your campaign log, record that Professor Rice has been kidnapped. And then rescued students. It's like I've done this before. Yeah, students were rescued. We just get victory X. So only a total of 4. Zoe's going to get 5 experience. Agatha will get 4. So yeah, not too bad. The start wasn't too shabby, but yeah, we had some really bad luck there. We had really good tempo in the beginning, and then it kind of fell off by just being getting hit with those ancient evils little by little, and then getting the getting this Light of a Forgamon as the one of the last things kind of sealed our fates. Zoe nearly died in more ways than one. So far though, Zoe's ability has been really good, or this deck is kind of functional at least. It wasn't bad at all. I feel like all firearms should have the benefit of not being hit with Retaliate or something along those lines, or being able to shoot aloof, which they've been kind of introducing on some of like the higher rank guns. But yeah, firearms kind of need a little bit more. But there is some more support for it in this new campaign expansion and stuff, or investigator expansion rather. Agatha was a lot of fun. I don't really have anything else to say about it. Her ability kind of worked. We didn't draw any of our fingerprint kits, and we didn't draw Eyes of the Dreamer until the very end, so that kind of hurt us. But we did have all of McBride since the beginning, so we were able to use Agatha Crane's ability a lot. The Obscura was actually really nice. It was nice to be able to pass a test and be able to take the token from that in many cases and just use it for another test. But yeah, her ability is a lot of fun. I used it 6 times. Yeah, it looks like 6 times. And all of it gave me tempo, so definitely no complaints there. All right, let me BRB and I'll spend some XP. All right, man, I'm still angry about getting the Zoe's weakness at that one point, because putting the enemy in the alchemy labs was just mean. But yeah, there was nothing I could do about it. Even if I did have a ward of protection, which I could have used on the ancient evil that was coming up, but the issue was the Ithkian Observer would have killed Zoe no matter what, because it was still alive and attacking her. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade both stand-togethers. They cost 3 each, but I have down the rabbit hole, so it'll cost 2 each, and I'm going to bank the last XP. That'll be it for her. Alright, and then for Agatha, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade my Seeking Answers to level 2. So Seeking Answers was actually from Dunwitch, and then Seeking Answers level 2 is actually from the Harvey Walters Investigator pack. But the big difference for it is it gets another foot icon, but it also now lets me discover 2 clues amongst all my location and connecting locations. I feel like that's probably the better call. I do have down the rabbit hole, so this upgrade's only going to cost 1 each instead of 2. I'm going to go ahead and bank the remaining 2 XP. I could upgrade it like a deduction or something, but honestly, I'm going to hold on to it. There are a few cards outside of the usual that I do want to eventually buy, like the draw 3 cards and all those. Besides all that, I think we're good to go. So we'll be going straight into the House Always Wins next time. Alright, I am the Depressed Hero. This was Arkham Horror the Card Game, doing the Dunwitch Legacy. I will see you guys next time.